Hello, welcome to the Manga Book Shop. Today I have a few different manga that we'll be going over so that I can get the right selection of manga for you. I'll be asking things like, what's your favorite kinds of manga genres? We've got anything from action, adventure, comedy, romance, mystery. What else do we have? We also have some mythical manga. So if you're into any of those things, we have it here. Yeah? Okay, so you're interested in pretty much all things manga, so it doesn't have to be a particular genre of any sort. Okay, perfect. Alright, so that makes it easier on me. So I do have a selection of manga that we'll go through, and it's pretty much going to be our most common ones. And then I'll let you determine which one you'll be going home with today, okay? Now, excuse me. So, one thing I want you to know about manga that makes it so cool is the fact that, you may have read American books. You usually start from the front and go to the back, but for manga, it's different. So for manga, you're going to be starting from the back and going to the front of the book. See? So you're going to be going from the back of the book to the front of the book. That's what's different with the manga. And I just think that's really neat and really cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the different kinds of manga that we have here, and also give you a little bit of a backstory into the lore of that manga, so that when it comes to selecting the certain volumes that you want to read, you have a bit of an idea of what story it derives from, okay? Okay. So, the first manga we're gonna get into today is this one based off of One Piece, and it's called Shokugeki no Sanji. And it's basically this one. I'll just read you the back description because it always goes into detail the best. So, see what straw hat Chef Sanji dishes up in his battle to win over the bellies and hearts of all he feeds, man or woman, friend or foe. This one-shot spinoff rolls all 6 original story chapters into one collection, connected and served up to you by the creators of Food Wars. Okay. So this one is about Sanji, and a little bit of Sanji's backstory is that he was actually born into a notorious criminal family called the Germa 66, okay? And he actually is a part of a group of quadruplets, so it's himself, his sister Ryu, and then his 2 other brothers. And basically the lore is that with his father wanted all of them to be a part of the Germa 66, so he wanted them to be lacking emotion, fast, strong, and just basically all of the capabilities that you need to be a good criminal. So the other 3 siblings, they got it. They understood, how to be what their father wanted them to be. But Sanji, on the other hand, Sanji is more heartfelt. He has more passion for people, and it just wasn't something for him, okay? And his father did not like that. His father did not like the fact that Sanji could not be heartless And, as strong-willed as his siblings were, he did not like the fact that Sanji couldn't be like that. So what his father did is, unfortunately, he ended up storing Sanji away in a dungeon cell, and this was for 6 months, okay? And all Sanji had to do in that time was to reflect on his love for recipes and cooking. So that's what he really did focus on in his captivity. And during that time, towards the end of those 6 months, there was a battle that broke out, because at the time the Germa 66 were traveling from the North Blue to the East Blue, and so they're basically trying to gather more territory, and a battle broke out. And because of that battle, there was a lot of chaos and commotion, so nobody could really keep an eye on Sanji, who was locked in that dungeon cell. And so his sister Ryu, basically out of all of the siblings, Ryu, his older sister, is the one that he gets along with best, and she was able to break him out of that dungeon cell. Okay, and then that's why, as you know, if you've seen that One Piece from Netflix, I really like the little incorporation of every detail. They try to get as many details as they could in that short little few, I think it was like 1 to 2 seasons. Was it 1 season or 2 season? But they try to get as many details as they could, because One Piece has so many episodes for the anime, which is different from the manga, because the manga goes more into detail in establishing every character. But if you want to see it all play out on film, I recommend an anime. Or if you just want a short little storyline and a good plot, then you could watch the Netflix series. Whichever one you choose is good, because One Piece is just wonderful all around. It's a great everything, manga, anime, show. It's a great everything. You'll really like each character has their own backstory, so I really do like how manga usually spends more time with that than the anime will, or a show. So I think you'll definitely like this one. About Sanji, and basically this is just Sanji being able to actually live his life as a chef, as he's wanted to for so long. Okay, so that, if you could take a sneak peek, just take a sneak peek at all those pages. That's basically Sanji's story. Okay, and there was another thing that I was trying to tell you about this. Yes, and I don't know if I mentioned that already, but then after Ryu ends up breaking Sanji out of the dungeon cell, that's when he meets Captain Zeph. Okay, that's when he meets that chef captain that has the the braids for the beard. Okay, that's when he runs into him, and he's been like a father figure to Sanji ever since, because he flourishes his love for cooking. Okay, so you'll really like this manga. And a description of this would be like action adventure, okay? So are you looking into that? Yeah? Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to be introducing you to another manga that we have, and I'll get that one for you in a minute. So speaking of One Piece, I kind of want to make sure that we're following along theme. So I'm going to be going over some of the action and adventure manga that we have here. And the next one I wanted to show you is My Hero Academia. So you got My Hero Academia, and this one is another good manga if you really do like action and adventure, okay? Read the back for you. So what would the world be like if 80% of the population manifested superpowers called quirks? heroes and villains would be battling it out everywhere. Being a hero would mean learning to use your power, but where would you go to study? The Hero Academia, of course. The Hero Academy, of course. But what would you do if you were one of the 20% who were born quirkless? Endeavor and Dobby's battle rages across the city as Endeavor fights to solidify his new position as the #1 hero. Hawks provides support, but where do his loyalties really lie? Midoriya experiences a cryptic dream about the past. What secrets do the previous wielders of One for All have to show him? Then Class 1A's joint battle training with Class B begins. So basically the lore behind this one is there is a kid named Izuku, and Izuku, the full name is Izuku Midoriya, and he basically was actually born quirkless, okay? And basically what the whole meaning behind having quirks and not having quirks are basically those superpowers that you have as a hero, or a human superpower that you have, and those that are quirkless are, as you know, those that do not have those superpowers, okay? And Izuku was one of them, and then he ends up running into his all-favorite superhero of all time, Captain All Might, and he ends up running into his all-favorite superhero, All Might, and then he was able to be granted with the One for All, which is the quirk. That's All Might's quirk, is the One for All. And since Izuku was able to inherit that, he was able to then attend the UA Academy for Superheroes, okay? So that's basically what a little bit of information about the backstory, but it's a nice action adventure manga that you'll really enjoy if you like action and adventure. And the thing with the quirkless in this city is that they are unfortunately often discriminated against for being quirkless. So it basically just goes through the whole thing about going from not having a quirk to having one, and how he develops as a person and as a superhero. I honestly don't go too much into My Hero Academia that I do for other ones, because it just doesn't resonate with me that much, but I think it's something that you may like if you were interested in One Piece. I think One Piece does a bit better with captivating the reader or the viewer. I think it does much better with captivating you, but if you do like action and adventure, this is just another one to consider. Okay, and now we're gonna go into the next manga. So the next manga that we have here is an all-time favorite for many, One Punch Man. And I'll read you the back. So, nothing about Saitama passes the eyeball test when it comes to superheroes. From his lifeless expression to his bald head to his unimpressive physique. However, this average-looking guy has a not-so-average problem. He just can't seem to find an opponent strong enough to take on. The monster Goketsu appears at the martial arts tournament, and in an attempt to turn its participants into monsters, he gives them monster cells. Tournament champ Suryu fights the newly monsterized fighters one after another until a certain hero rushes to his side to help. Okay? So this is the lore behind One Punch Man. So it's basically about Saitama, which is the main character. It's in a city Z, I believe, and it's a city full of superheroes and people that can fight of all kinds. And Saitama is one of them that just so happens to be able to take out any opponent with just one punch. Okay, so it's like think of, do you know Caillou? Yeah, so think of Caillou, right? Caillou can literally just take out one. Think about like Caillou taking out everybody in his way with just one punch. That's basically what's going on here, okay? But I think if you like a lot of action, some comedy, you'll really like this manga. I never really got into it. My brothers, however, or my older brother, however, is a real diehard fan for all things One Punch Man or Dragon Ball Z when he was growing up, so it may be something that you like. Not really sure, but yeah, it's a good action comedy anime, and I think you'll really enjoy. Okay. And then I just wanted to show you a glimpse of the inside and what it looks like. You can see. And I do apologize, I didn't get to show you much of the last manga that we were going over. I didn't get to show you much of that one, but you see, these are a few of the pages. So you can see it's a lot of action going on between each page, which is what I really like about the manga. Each page is just another thing to captivate you into it. And the descriptions are really good. Okay? And then what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and pull back up that one we were reviewing before. I believe it was My Hero Academia, and allow you to take a little glimpse into that one as well, okay? So here it is, and if you'd like, you can take a glimpse into this one as well. You can see that. Okay, so another one filled with lots of action and suspense and a little bit of comedy, okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the next manga that we'll be going over today. So the next manga that I'll be showing you is Naruto, and then it's basically about well, for this particular volume, I'm just gonna read that description to you. So Naruto is a young shinobi with an incorrigible knack for mischief. He's got a wild sense of humor, but Naruto is completely serious about his mission to be the world's greatest ninja. Kurama, now aligned with the tailed beast and his fellow Jinchuuriki host more than ever, Naruto impresses the allied shinobi forces with his newfound strength. But his comrades are not going to leave this final battle, with the forces of Tobi up to Naruto alone. As they rush to assist their friend, Sasuke returns, and this time he's intent on taking out Naruto once and for all. So it's basically about a fight against Naruto and his enemies, okay? And just basically using the comrades that he has to fight that battle. So it's just focusing on different segments here. But a little bit about the lore behind Naruto, okay? So Naruto is basically this kid that was born in this village who coincidentally the night he was born, they were attacked by a five-tailed fox. And so basically you're going to hear a lot about the five-tailed fox because the fox literally had five tails spinning around. Okay, it was a five-tailed fox. And the one of the ninjas end up defeating the fox, and to store the fox away, they trapped him inside Naruto's body. Okay, so basically Naruto should be seen as a hero, right? Because he was able to store the fox away inside his body, And in the beginning, he doesn't even know. So Naruto is absolutely clueless about this, okay? And he has a lot of disdain towards him. There's a lot of disdain towards him because of the fact that everyone else in the village, all the other adults, know that the fox was stored within him. So sometimes they see him as the five-tailed fox. Sometimes they see him as the beast. He's a beast. He's a problem, But one thing that the ninja that leads all, I forgot what he's called. I do apologize. But the one that's over everything, kind of watches everybody on that globe, he decided that the leader decided that they were going to just leave it be that the adults knew, but all the little kids have no idea that Naruto has the beast inside, to just give him some chance of one day being seen as the hero that he is, for basically being possessed or being the holder of a beast that he doesn't even know about, okay? And he doesn't find out about that until a little bit later. But I think that you'll really enjoy this manga if you like a lot of action. There's also some good comedy in it as well. I do apologize. I think that's like a plane or some type of vehicle passing. But yeah, if you do like action, adventure, again, comedy, this is another good one for you. I think you'll really like Naruto, okay? I, again, wasn't too big on Naruto, but I'm just now starting to get into it. I've actually been starting to watch it, so I'm trying to see if I can get into the anime, because I like manga, but I'm more so of like an anime kind of girl. So yeah, I have been getting into the anime. I do recommend, if you take a look at, volume 1 on any of these manga, and you say, I really like to see this play out on display, on film, you should really get into anime as well, okay? I think manga are really good with determining what anime you should be selecting, because it gives you the little backstory, and then you're like, is that something I really want to look into? Okay. But yes, and now I'll get into the next one. And then the last one that I wanted to go over with you today would be Mars Red, okay? This one is mighty popular, and it says, creatures of the night, when a series of grisly murders occurs in Tokyo Red Light District, it hardly makes the news. The vampire soldiers of Special Forces Unit 16, however, believe that a vamp may be responsible. Suwa is usually the most reserved member of the team, but after he befriends a young girl working in a brothel, the search for the killer becomes personal. Will he find the monster before it strikes again? Okay, so with this manga, this one's a good one that you may like as well. What's good about it is the kind of like the backstory of it. It's basically about vampires. So it's a world where vampires and humans coexist without knowing. well, without the humans knowing that the vampires are a part of that world, okay? And the government basically hid it from them, as they always do. So they basically hid the fact that vampires existed, and they thought that they would just be able to coexist with one another, no one needs to know, okay? But then it turns out that the vampires start attacking the humans, and that's when it becomes a problem for the government, okay? So that's when they introduce Code Zero, which is basically the team that's going to help the humans combat the vampires. So kind of like a vampire versus human kind of manga, and also a lot of action in it as well. So I think I really like this one because I think it's like up there with, I don't know if you've read or watched Tokyo Ghoul. I think it's very familiar with that, but in this case, rather than having ghouls, you have vampires, okay? So you may really like this one as well if you do like Tokyo Ghoul or anything along those lines, okay? So yeah, that's the last manga that I have to show you today. I'm so glad we got to go over all of these. So I have them all here so we could just go through them. So we went over Naruto, Noragami, Stray God, Kami-sama Kiss, One Punch Man, One Piece, Shokugeki no Sanji, My Hero Academia, and Mars Red. So out of all of these, which manga do you think you're going to be leaving with today? Mars Red? Okay, good choice. One Piece, okay. Let's see. And any others? Kami-sama Kiss, okay. Wow. One Piece, Shokugeki no Sanji, and then we've got Mars Red. So these are the 3 manga you'll be leaving with today. Okay. And the good thing is that if you want to get are you trying to get one volume, or do you want the full set? Each of these sets just varies because there's different volumes. There's different volume sets for One Piece, but if it's for this particular one, this set is going for, should be around 20 to 25. Kami-sama Kiss should be around 10, or if you'd like, yeah. Okay, so just volume 1 of each. Okay, perfect. So I can go ahead and grab those volumes for you so that you can go ahead and have somewhere to start. I can probably give you between volume 1 to volume 5 for each if you'd like. Yeah, sound good? Okay, perfect. So we'll do that then, and then that should bring you up to a total of around, let's see. Okay, so that'll bring you up to a total of around $50 if you get a volume from 1 to 5. Yes, I know they're kind of pricey, but they are in demand. Okay, so you're okay with that? Okay, perfect. May I get your card? Thank you. Let's see. Swipe that. Just stacking the volumes here. Okay, perfect. There you are. There you are. Okay, and there you go. So I'm glad we were able to go over these manga here today, and I'm glad I was able to help you find something that you like. But I hope you do have a great rest of your day, and please stop by the Manga Book Store when you're ready for the remainder of the volume,